Hello everybody and welcome back to Willowier. So today I'm doing a little bit of a review here. This is the Miyoo Flip V2. I've seen quite a few reviews on this thing and I've actually had it for a decent amount of time before deciding to do any review of any sort. Now I will say that this is not the camera for this. Let me just see a little bit of my setup over here. Ignore the tomato jar. That is nothing. Ugh. Move that out of there. Don't worry, it's not actual tomato sauce. I just like to keep my coins in there. Anyway, so, because I don't have my GoPro anymore, I have to do this the hard way. This is the case that you get with it. You get little things like this with it. This wasn't sent to me or anything. I actually had to pay for this, and it's not the cheapest thing in the world. But I bought myself and my friend one because, I thought it would be really cool after looking at all the reviews and stuff. Supposedly there's hinge issues, but I haven't had that, and to my knowledge, neither has he. I don't believe. That card might have came with it. It comes with its own card for the cost that I had. I was like, I think it was like $128 or something like that. I think that was the card that originally came with it. Maybe. There's nothing special. Oh, that was mine. So, yeah. But, yeah, you get like 128 gig. I'll take a look here in a moment. It's still in the system because I tried to go and transfer the data from the one that was there to a better card and it didn't work. So, yeah, I'm not going to claim to be an expert or anything at these. But, yeah. So it's a pretty cool little thing. Basically, it looks like a Game Boy SP, only with some added functions. You got your charging port there and a little headphone jack. You got a little HDMI mini thingy. And it looks like another charging cord, but I tried using that for charging and it didn't work. I'm sure the instruction manual says something about it, but I don't know what. Got your normal little bumpers there. Now this thing's actually really easy to open, and I'm one of those weirdos that never takes off the actual thingy, that thing. It's still on there from the day that I got it because, I don't know. Sure, I could use a screen protector and eventually I will, but for now I just want to keep that on there to keep it as pristine as physically possible. Plus I really suck at putting those things on. So you'll notice this comes with two little joysticks, which is really cool. Get the dirt out of there. So that didn't work. Whatever. I'll clean it up later. Got all the normal little things the SP has aside from the little buttons here. The on-off switch is right there. The SD card slot is right there. Volume up and down, and a secondary SD slot. Again, haven't been able to figure out how to make it work. Oh, and that's the home button right there. So you hold this down for a couple of seconds to make it activate. Activate, turn on. I don't know why I'm saying anything so weird today. Probably because I'm like, I didn't even know if I was going to do this today or if I was just going to record something. But I've been really wanting to go and do a recording of this for a while now. I've had this for a bit. Unfortunately, my camera does not do this thing justice, like, at all. The screen looks so much better in person. Hang on, maybe I can fix this. Give me 1 second. There. Maybe with the light down a bit from the window, this will have... That's a little better. Again, this camera is not meant for this at all. It's got multiple clicking settings, and as you can see, I can easily move it, no issue, but it doesn't flop on its own. Like, I can wiggle this, and it only very gently jiggles, so it's not that bad. So whatever was going on with the hinges, I think has either been fixed or is just a every now and then problem for people. So I had to do this with one hand, so bear with me here. You have recent, favorite, game, RetroArch, app, settings, and that's it. I'll turn the sound up a bit. Got a nice little catch song here. You go into settings, you can adjust the brightness. Now my brightness is all the way off, this is all the way up, but I don't know what the best setting for the camera would be, unfortunately. I am sorry about the quality, but without my freaking GoPro, it's just not the same anymore. So there's not really anything in here to work with. You do have some internet settings. You do have the LCD frequency. There's quite a few things like Bluetooth and stuff, and you can connect this to other people's. It's just really hard. Like most of the stuff that I go to do, like PlayStation 1 for example, we have not been able to get PS1 to work at all. There are some apps on here. Like this one here is actually, I believe the game is called Baltro. Let me see if I can get that in there. Kind of. There we go. It's like Baltro or something like that. It's like a newer game, like a mobile game, plus it's on PS5 now. I'm not a fan of it, but Tyler really likes it. You got Celeste, Commander, Garden Story. Some music, Half-Life. It's interesting. Sonic Mania's on here. Anyway, there's a bunch of interesting things on that part. I normally just go straight to game. Trying really hard to get this to stay in focus. Alright, so you have arcade, Atari Lynx, Atari 7800, DC, or Dreamcast, DOS, Easy RPG, Final Burn Neo, Famicom. So I'll show you the amount of games that are in it. Some of these have 0. So there are 142 arcade games. Oh yeah, and everything I've tried so far works perfectly. And that's actually an interesting thing because it works better than most of my computer emulators do. 75 Atari Lynx. There are 58 of the Atari 7800. 59 Dreamcast. 342 Famicom. And so far I haven't found any duplicates either. Final Burn Neo has 422. This one has 0. Oh, it's going to scan it anyway. That is one thing I've noticed is sometimes it'll have a scan games that takes freaking forever. Sometimes for literally no reason. Like, you can open one that has 20 games, it'll take forever to load, but it's a rare problem. See the 0 in that one. Why is that doing that? I wish I didn't have to hold this. DOS has 0, just like I thought. Then you got Game & Watch, which has nothing. Never actually looked at that. Game Gear has 127. Could do without the zeros. Like that's something that's kind of annoying. But some of these systems you'll notice, like the China ones definitely have that. Game Boy has 403. And unlike my frickin' Hyperspin Attraction, Game Boy and Game Boy Color show up as Game Boy and Game Boy Color, and they're not all green. So, Game Boy Advance has 219. Game Boy Color has 375. MAME Plus has 412. Sega has, or Mega Drive / Sega Genesis has 481. MPV, which I don't even know what that is, has nothing. Neo Geo has 151. Neo Geo Pocket has 41. The ONS backed me out. Did I misclick? Huh. I don't know why it does that. Open Bore has 19. I do believe, I could be wrong about this, I do believe that Open Bore is like fan remakes. Nintendo DS has 174, and they do work. I've tried a lot of them, and they work. And that's where I'm going to bring up this next thing. Nintendo DS has Pokemon Conquest. I know for most people, you probably either don't know what that is or don't care. But to put this in perspective, Pokemon Conquest is a game I've looked for years because somebody stole it from me when I was a kid. And every emulation that I have found of it does not even run. It won't even start it, and in some cases, like with Hyperspin Attraction, the closest I ever got to running it, it crashed my system and made me have to reboot my entire computer. That is how bad it was. But on this, it runs perfectly. No glitches, no errors, nothing wrong at all. And you can switch the screens on this too. By hitting the left or L2, you can switch the screen from top to bottom. And for a game like that, it works just fine. I haven't really tested it out with rapid paced stylus movements, but the stylus does move pretty quickly. So some I think would be fine. So N64 has 248. Miyoo has 2. Master System has 353. Not a big fan of Master System, to be honest. I know a lot of people are. It's not my time frame. The PC Engine, which I'm actually growing a great appreciation for, has 328. PGM2 has 0. Pico 8 has 39. I heard that was a good one. The PPSSPP, so basically PlayStation Portable, has 70. Super Famicom. Trying so hard to keep the screen to stay like in. Has 729. Saturn has 7. Port 32 is 0. PlayStation has 522. And they're actually pretty good games. And they do all work. I have actually tried almost every one of them. The Wonder Swan color has 73. So my volume, I'll turn it all the way up. Okay, that's all the way up. It's only on the main screen, that's why it's quiet. But I will get this to actually focus. There we go. I'll put on a PlayStation game so you guys can actually see what this thing is capable of. I'm gonna have to find something I can actually do with one hand. I was hoping I could find something that's like, you know, some good graphics to show what it's got, but I don't know what to choose. Well, let's go with Kingsley's Adventure. It might not be the best graphics in the world, but it's a pretty good game. It's nice and colorful. You know, I wonder if that screen protector thingy I have on there is what's doing this. I'll move my hand. Now, it's got just one center speaker. So if you cover that, you're not going to hear much, like, at all. Yeah, I'm going to take this off. I've been prolonging it. I'll do it for the video. There we go. And look, that's much better now. This whole time it was just a screen protector. Hopefully, hey, you can see me now. Okay, well. Alright, so it's blurry on the camera. I wonder if maybe... I know sometimes putting a hand there will help. Wow, my camera really cannot pick that up. Huh. Okay, well, I apologize about that. But my camera just can't pick that up. Maybe at some point, I'll plug in my HDMI cord to it and show you guys what this can really do. I'll do like a secondary review kind of thing.
An evil wizard disguised as a chef stole the Queen's Book of Magic and sent the kingdom spiraling into despair. One by one, the defenders of the realm were overcome by Bag Custard's evil magic and forced to become the Dark Knights, the scourge of the kingdom. All hopes were lost until an unlikely hero emerged to challenge the tyranny of the evil rodent. Kingsley, an orphaned fox cub, small in size but large in spirit.
I think that's good for that. Okay, so when you're done with your game, you hit that middle M button there, and it brings up little sidey thing here where you have your continue, You can save, you can load, you got the native menu, and then the net play, which again, I guess you guys can't really read it, but the net play allows you to connect with other people just by Bluetooth or by wireless. And so far, I've only managed to get that to work with the older consoles. PlayStation does not work, but I do know that Sega works. For any two-player games, you basically will join the other person's console. And you can see your wireless, and you can see your battery life up there too. And so, I can do a brief little thingy here for that. If I go to Sega, and let's say we wanted to play... let's go find Zombies Ate My Neighbors, because that one we tried and it worked. Okay, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Sorry, I was pointing down at the keys the whole time. Anyway, so you get into Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Then, you hit the middle button. You go down to Net Play. And it shows you this screen right here. So, my net play, I don't really have, or wait, maybe it wasn't net play, hang on, I'm sorry, I'm not too familiar with this either, there we go, I think, maybe not, maybe it's because I don't have it fully connected right now. There is a way to do it, just give me a second to get into it. I could have swore it was net play. Maybe let's refresh. That's weird. Oh, you know what, I'm being dumb. Alright. Okay, go to settings. And then you go to Wi-Fi, turn it on. Okay. And then Bluetooth. Well, I don't need to worry about Bluetooth right now. That should have just fixed the problem, I think. Keyword, I think. It's been a while since I've done this. The last time I did it, I was trying to play the game with Tyler. But it doesn't seem to be working the way it was. I suppose it's possible they could have removed it. But there used to be like a bar that would come across on the top. And for some reason, the bar's just not coming across now. How odd. Oh, here's the bar. Oh, that's dumb. You have to press the B button once you get into there to actually get into the thing. So you go into that. I'll do it one more time so you guys can see. That. So you hit the middle button. You go down to the native menu, which you can't see because my camera sucks. You kind of saw it there for a second. And then you come into here. Originally, it was just showing this. You just hit B, and it'll give you the bar. So you scroll across the bar, and you can either host the game there, connect to NetPlay host, or you can refresh these. If you're right next to each other and you got your Bluetooth and all that on, I think you have to have Bluetooth on. I can't remember. But anyway, you use one of these, it'll refresh the list, and then they should, theoretically, pop up down at the bottom if they are already hosting. If you want to be the one to do it, you just hit that host button there, and then they do the same. They go into here and they look for you. There are other complex ways of doing it. There are other OSs that you could use, like Onion OS. Onion OS is apparently the best, but I've never been able to figure out how to get those stupid things onto here, and I'm not very tech savvy. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, I am definitely not the person to talk to about it. I do my best, but I've never had anybody teach me this stuff, and I'm not very good on figuring out stuff on my own. You do have a favorites list. I put things on here I want to test out or I like. I don't remember putting most of these on here, to be honest. I think I was going to test those, that's what it was. But I have been playing Pokemon Conquest like crazy. For once, I have almost beaten it. I actually just started Crystallis, too. It's pretty good. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little brief tour of this system. I do believe that the the Miyoo Flip V2 is definitely worth the price of $120. It is sturdy. It is awesome. You've got all kinds of games on here that function, and there's no duplicates that I've seen. You do have the ability to do two-player games with each other, as long as you both have a system. It's just a little complicated. It can connect to the TV, or computer, or whatever. So yeah, I think this is definitely worth the money, especially with the card that you get. Do wish the online that I bought this for worked a bit better than it does, but I would definitely give this a 10 out of 10. I'll give it a 9.8 out of 10. I'd give it a 10 out of 10 if it was not for that internet problem. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, hit that like, subscribe button, and I will catch you all in the next episode. Bye!